A janitor named Ronald Read never earned more than $18 an hour. He wore safety pins to hold his coat together, drove a second-hand car for decades. When he died in 2014, his family discovered something shocking. He'd quietly accumulated $8 million. His secret? The S&P 500. Ronald Read's story isn't unique, it's a pattern. Across America and the UK, ordinary people with unremarkable salaries have built extraordinary wealth using one simple investment that Wall Street desperately wants you to overlook. Why? Because when you understand how powerful the S&P 500 truly is, you stop needing expensive financial advisors. You stop chasing hot stock tips. You stop paying ridiculous fees for management that consistently fails. Warren Buffett, the greatest investor alive, worth over $130 billion, has stated repeatedly that a low-cost S&P 500 index fund is the single best investment most people will ever make. What makes this investment so devastatingly powerful? Let's pull back the curtain. Section 1. The Silent Wealth Multiplier. The S&P 500 isn't about investing in stocks. It's about owning a piece of the most powerful economic engine ever created. When money goes into the S&P 500, you become a part owner of 500 of the world's most dominant corporations, companies controlling $45 trillion in combined market value, businesses that employ tens of millions of people globally and generate more revenue than most countries' entire economies. Think about your daily life. Every iPhone sold, Apple makes money, you profit. Every hospital using Johnson & Johnson equipment, you profit. Every Visa transaction, Amazon delivery, Microsoft license sold, you're getting a microscopic slice of all of it. You're not betting on one company's success, you're betting on the entire foundation of modern commerce. This diversification is the first layer of importance. When one company struggles, 499 others continue generating profits. When entire sectors decline, other sectors rise to compensate. The risk is spread so thin that individual company failures become background noise rather than portfolio-destroying events. Grace Groner understood this perfectly. She worked as a secretary her entire life. In 1935, she bought 3 shares of Abbott Laboratories stock for $180. She never bought another share. She simply held on and let the companies she owned reinvest their profits. When she died in 2010 at age 100, those 3 shares had grown to a $7 million fortune. She donated every penny to charity. Section 2. The Self-Healing Machine. In 1999, Yahoo was worth $125 billion. Today, essentially worthless. Investors who bet everything on Yahoo lost everything. But anyone who owned the S&P 500 barely noticed. As Yahoo faded, Google rose. As Blockbuster died, Netflix emerged. As Kodak disappeared, Apple revolutionized photography. The S&P 500 is self-healing. Weak companies get ejected. Powerful new companies get added. You never have to predict the future. The system does it automatically. Professional fund managers, with teams of analysts and decades of experience, fail to beat the S&P 500 roughly 90% of the time over 15-year periods. Section 3. The Crash Survival Formula. Ann Scheiber retired in 1944 as a low-level IRS auditor with $5,000. She lived frugal and alone in a tiny apartment. She invested in stocks and never sold during crashes. When she died in 1995, her portfolio was worth $22 million. She'd survived every market crash for 51 years. March 2020. COVID-19 panic. The S&P 500 plunges 34% in 5 weeks. 100,000 pounds becomes 66,000 pounds. People sell in terror. 5 months later, complete recovery. By 2024, that 100,000 pounds is worth 180,000 pounds. The 2008 crisis was worse. The S&P 500 falls 57%. 100,000 pounds shrinks to 43,000 pounds. Gut-wrenching. But staying invested? That 43,000 pounds recovered to 100,000 pounds by 2013. By 2024, it's worth 420,000 pounds. Those who sold in panic locked in permanent losses, while patient investors quadrupled their money. Every crash in S&P 500 history has been followed by complete recovery and new highs. Section 4. The wealthy mindset. The S&P 500 forces the right mindset. It removes the temptation to gamble. It eliminates the fantasy of getting rich quick. It replaces excitement with something far more valuable: mathematical certainty. A 25-year-old investing £200 monthly into the S&P 500 will have approximately £1.37 million by retirement, assuming historical returns continue. Not through brilliant stock picking, not through timing market peaks and valleys, through simple, boring consistency that anyone can replicate. But here's where most people fail. They start investing, see their portfolio grow by 15% one year, then panic when it drops 20% the next year. They sell at a loss, convinced this time is different. They miss the recovery, watch from the sidelines as the market climbs to new highs, then buy back in near the peak. This cycle destroys wealth. Research from Dalbar shows the average investor earns roughly 5.5% annually, while the S&P 500 returns about 10% annually over the same periods. That gap, nearly half the returns, exists purely because of human behavior. Buying high when everyone's excited, selling low when fear takes over, constantly switching strategies chasing better performance. Section 5. Buffett's ultimate endorsement. Warren Buffett has spent his life picking individual stocks. He's one of the richest people alive doing it. Yet in his will, he's instructed that 90% of his wife's inheritance should go into a simple S&P 500 index fund. In 2007, Buffett bet $1 million that an S&P 500 index fund would outperform hedge funds over 10 years. These were elite money managers handling billions. The results? The S&P 500 returned 125.8%. The hedge funds averaged 36%. Even the most sophisticated investors can't reliably beat this index. The S&P 500 won't make you rich tomorrow, but it will make you wealthy, quietly, predictably, inevitably. Ronald Read, the janitor with $8 million. Grace Groner, the secretary with $7 million. Ann Scheiber, the IRS auditor with $22 million. None were financial geniuses. They simply understood the importance of owning great businesses and never selling. The S&P 500 is humanity's greatest wealth creation tool because it harnesses compound growth multiplied by time. It doesn't require intelligence. It doesn't require luck. It requires only two things: starting and not stopping. Markets will crash again. They always do. But recovery is guaranteed, as it has been for nearly a century. The only question that matters: will you trust the process long enough to let it work?